The siren call of good food is usually our top reason for visiting a restaurant, but we all know that many factors affect our overall dining experience, including the interiors and ambiance of the place. Two perfect examples are these in-demand shops at the alley here in Caravan Plaza that will ignite all your senses. And our first stop is right here at the panaderia of Chef Jordi Navarra, who is also behind the famous Toyo Eatery.
Before we started working on the designs, I asked sila Jordi what emotion they want the people to feel when they enter the space, and he answered happiness. I think the panaderia kind of represents something in our culture that's deeply ingrained. So when you think of panaderias or local bakeries, you remember pandesal or the family you spend time with in the mornings. We want them to feel comfortable. We want them to remember a sense of community when they're dining in the space.
While planning the design of the panaderia, Arts immediately knew he had to draw in customers by leading them to the right spot where all the good stuff was made.
Siguro, we started with thinking how kami personally would experience the space. I think what we did primarily is put the focus where the bread is made, establish that connection with someone who wants to get bread and the one who actually makes it. So the highlight of the space is where the oven is. We did an insulation in the ceiling that kind of highlights this space more. Yung design is really kind of modern. We used very simple forms, cube-like forms that would make up the shelves or come down where the bread is made. And then we used a material that's very familiar. We used a lot of wood kasi it kind of reflects a very warm feeling when you look at it, and also warm lighting. I think in the materiality, we kind of wanted to reflect also the honesty that Richie and Jordi portrays in their process. So we don't use a lot of paint and unnatural materials. I think what Jordi and Richie are doing with the spaces, they wanted to elevate what the panaderia is and kind of update it to the younger generation. So I think it's very aligned in terms of we didn't really want to overdo things. We just wanted to be honest with the design process and how it translates to the space itself.
From a warm-hued sunlit bakery to a neon-lit donut shop in the very same alley, this funky place defies all your previous expectations of what the usual cafe should look like.
When we designed Poison, our motivation was to design a coffee shop that's unlike other coffee shops here. Kasi most of the coffee shops are cozy, inviting, and bright. I guess yung design intention was that na medyo mag-experiment on the look of the space. So the design direction came from Hydra.
Just like the deadly acid at the mouth of a famous mythical creature, Poison guards the ground floor of Hydra, a group of design studios that all work together to design this darkly unique spot.
We always compare it to parang Ghost in the Shell, parang post-apocalyptic na sci-fi. Yun yung feel. If there was a coffee shop in that time in the future, parang ganito siya. When titas walk by, parang nag-hesitate sila to go inside. Ang dilim, ano ba yan? Mukhang bar. For us, it defined the whole experience for the space, and it gave the character to the space and reflected by the donuts as well.
Dangerous coffee, deadly donuts. Because the interiors are too dark for your usual food snapshots, there's only room at Poison to focus on good food, good music, and even good conversation.
The intention for the look, and it was a collaboration with Miko Aspiras of Tasteless, was to make the flavors different pero simple yung presentation. So there's not a lot of things like toppings over certain things, and it looks very distinct. Parang the whole experience of the post-apocalyptic future coffee shop is reflected on the donuts then. And everything, I guess, in the packaging, in the menu, all of it are informed by the design direction of the space.
In the end, it's not just about the super cool interiors or the delicious food. It's also great to know that we have local chefs and artists who are committed to giving us a feast for all our senses, making our trips to the restaurants all the more memorable. Up next, to find out why greening your home never goes out of style.